What is going on, everybody? I wanted to do a quick video. State of the garden. It's been a pretty good garden year. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Cucumbers alone, I've got over 120 pounds of cucumbers out of my garden so far, and they're showing no signs of stopping. Over 100 plus pounds of potatoes. Amazing. Some of them have been some of the easiest potatoes I've ever done. I did an experiment earlier this year with Yukon Gold. I planted Yukon Gold in clay just because I've always been told that you can't produce a decent amount of potatoes out of growing out of clay. And well, you're wrong. You can produce over 40 pounds of potatoes just in clay. The problem that I didn't foresee is pulling them out of the clay is a prodigious amount of effort. I looked terrible when I was done working that garden box. Like, I did nothing but clay in there, and it was a nightmare. I even deleted the video because it was me looking like I was about to die for 45 minutes, and yeah, that wasn't fun. That wouldn't be fun to watch. Well, it wouldn't be fun for me. I mean, it might be funnier than hell than for other people to watch it, but I looked at that and went, nah. So I clicked the delete button on that video, but getting off topic a little bit. Tons of green beans. We've gotten just loads of green beans, loads of cucumbers, zucchini. You're crazy. Like I planted 17, all at once. Craziness. You don't need to plant more than 1 or 2 zucchini plants for a family. So we've been eating zucchini so often. Sometimes, you know, I'm making zoodles or other things out of it, and I'm just kind of going, great garden vegetable. Nom, nom, nom. It's just, don't go crazy with certain things. You know, I like planting zucchini. I like eating it maybe once every week, every other week, but having it every night, no, thank you. What else? Tomatoes. Tomatoes have done pretty good. I had a bad time starting my tomatoes this year. I planted them all out, and rabbits decimated them to the point where I actually had to go to a big box store and buy quite a few of my tomato plants, just because all of my seed starts that I had started from scratch had completely died, and there was nothing I could do about that aside from, you know, start taking out the rabbits, which I've taken out a few, but they're overpopulated here, so I'm gonna have to figure out something for next year. Which, you know, it's always the garden is always fluid. There's always gonna be something that needs to be done. Whether or not you want to do it or have the time to do it, that's irrelevant. It's going to happen. What else has done really well? Onions did pretty good. We had a really bad storm. Like, that was the first onion video I did, and I had to, hey kitty, and I had to pull them out because it knocked them over sideways. There was damage to the actual leaves that I knew if I hadn't pulled them out, they would have all just rotten and died. So they never got big, but I had, what, 35 pounds of yellow, sweet Vidalia. I had 35 pounds. I had about 5-7 pounds of white, and I had about 5 pounds of red. So not bad. I mean, overall. What else has done really good? Well, I touched on the tomatoes, but it's August 15th, and they're just now starting to come in. Just like I said, a lot of damage. Nothing I can do about it aside from replant, so that's all I've done. I did a lot of indeterminates, and if you know anything about tomatoes, the determinants all kind of, you know, they produce all at once, and then you got, you know, a nice set of tomatoes to eat right there. Indeterminates are a little different. They take a lot longer to get going, but you have a steadier supply over time. So that's what I have right now, and it's out of view, but like they're pretty tall. They're taller than my wife now, so she's not very tall, but it's a good sign. I have a few that are even taller than me, and I'm not very tall either. I'm only 6 foot, but it's a good sign. Each of these plants has between, I'd say 10 and 15 tomatoes on it. So not bad. It's just later in the season than I would have liked, but like I said, decimated by rabbits. So nothing that can be done about that. Let's see, what else we got going? Oh, pumpkins. I planted pumpkins early just because I wanted to make sure I had some for a harvest. Maybe a little too early, we'll see. But it's August 15th, and my vines are 25, 35 feet long each plant. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got at least 8 plants in there. So fantastic, and I can see a ton of pumpkins on there. My plan this year was to produce about 750 pounds of produce out of my garden. I don't know if I'll quite hit that. I'm at 380 pounds of produce right now. I haven't measured or weighed like my greens. They don't really add up to much, but I have so many different varieties of greens. I've got my Swiss chards, I got my kale, I've got leafy cabbages, I've got pak choi, bok choy, my herbs, my beets, like the beet greens. In case in point, those are my favorite greens to eat. Yeah, there's collard greens. There's just so many greens in my garden that if I was to actually measure it, it'd probably be a decent, substantial amount. But I'm not going to. I'm not going to. It feels more like a filler. Kitty. Yeah. So there's a lot going on there. Okra. First year I've ever planted okra, and it's actually doing really well. Good Lord. It's actually doing really well. Like I said, it's a little later in the, okay, this is a new one. This is Gravy, and he decided he wanted to live at our house. Apparently he's appreciative of it. But yeah, first year I've ever done okra, and it's actually starting to flourish really well. My peppers, I only did 1 box of peppers this year. Usually I do more, but I find I don't eat a lot of peppers. I usually add them for like seasonings and whatnot. But I did it in a completely different box. I did it more of like a sandy, loamy substrate with a decent amount of rabbit droppings, and I covered it with the actual soil with cardboard that I trimmed into small little cubes and put on everything. And I tell you what, I don't know which step I did that made it perfect. My pepper plants are 5 feet tall, and each one has produced between 5 and 15 peppers. Bell peppers are, I don't let them get big anyway, but about 3 or 4 inches in length, and there's a ton of them. So I'm happy with it. My jalapenos, same size and height, but not as large. My holy moly peppers, which are quite hot, they're actually, I'm getting a ton of those too. But like I said, I'm harvesting them all early just because with pepper plants you can increase productivity by making sure that you're continuously pulling them off, and so the plant itself is going to give you more. This is very strange. I've never had this cat do this to me, so it wants attention from viewers. So if you like Gravy the cat, hit the like button. We'll see if I can't get Gravy out and do more. Good Lord. What else we got going on? Turnips. My turnips, I planted my fall turnips. I got a box of those, and I did 2 boxes of rutabaga. And I thinned them aggressively. Like there's 1 rutabaga, excuse me, per square foot. And right now they're about 4 weeks old, and they're already starting to swell up at the base. I'm very excited for the rutabagas. I can't wait to be able to come out and fall, even with a little snow on the ground, pull one up out of the ground and just go inside and make something cool with it. Oh, help me. My daughter's gonna love this video. Yeah, so like turnips, rutabagas, they've done really well. This is my first actually successful year for carrots. I've gotten 15-20 pounds of carrots out of my first box, and I just recently planted my fall carrots, so I'm gonna have quite a few carrots coming up in about mid-October, and those ones should be even better than the spring ones. They should be so much sweeter, taste so much better. And I love carrots. I love sauteed carrots, a little bit of olive oil, roast them in the oven. They're amazing. A little bit of garlic salt. If you've never tried them, oh, they melt in your mouth. They're sweet. It's the perfect dish. What else? I've got my fall cabbages put in. Yeah, it's been an amazing year. This is so strange. Apparently, it's Dad Appreciation Day. I'll take it. A little weird, but I'll take it. Failures. What has really not done all that well this year? My Brussels sprouts. It's too late in the season for me to try and redo them, but they got eaten something fierce. And I don't even think it was rabbits or anything. I think it was like grasshoppers. They ate them straight to the base, and it's sad because Brussels sprouts are one of my favorite things to eat, and I was looking forward to them all year, and they're gone. So, can I get them in a grocery store? Yeah. Will I? Probably not, because they're just not. They don't taste the same. But yeah, it's a sad deal. Oh, another one that's surprised me. Leeks. I've struggled with leeks for a few years. Now, granted, I planted them probably a little too late, so they're not going to get full size. But each base is about like that right now, and they're going to continue to grow. And this is. I did something different with them too. I planted them more of in a sandy soil like I would watermelon, and it seems to have worked out perfectly. Oh God, puns. Yeah, they're doing great. They're all over the place. I've got probably 50 leeks in that one box. Now the box itself, it's being shared by Swiss chard, one of my favorite things to grow in the garden. It's so versatile. You can saute it down. You can use it as a wrap. You can add it to a salad. It's got that thick, almost beet greens kind of texture to it, because it is in the same family. It's basically the same plant, but you grow it for the leaves instead of the bulb. But amazing. It's an amazing thing. If you've never grown it, I recommend you grow it. It's absolutely delicious. But yeah, it's been a pretty good year. My grapes took off. I actually had to build them a full-size like arbor to handle it. This is year number 2. So next year, my grapes, I've got those ones are Concord over there. So I've got 2 Concord that came back up. So those ones should produce a decent amount of grapes next year. Now, granted, it won't be a huge harvest, but it'll be something. And a little bit more variety pulling out of the garden, I'll take it. I've increased the size of my garden a huge amount this year. 5 years ago, my garden was 8 garden boxes. Last year, I had 16 garden boxes. This year, I've got 28 garden boxes. Each one of those is 6 foot by 3 foot. And I also built a mega garden box, which is 14 feet by 21 feet. So the sheer square footage just went up. I'm at over 850 square feet if you do the math on all of that, and it shows in the garden. There's always something to do, and sometimes it's just me out here, so sometimes things don't get done. Weeding. Next year I'm gonna get a little bit more aggressive on the weeding. I needed wood chips this year, and I couldn't find anyone that was willing to sell them at a decent price. So I'm at the bare minimum for my wood chips and my pathways, so there's always things that need improvement. It's not disheartening, but it's discouraging, because you see something, you go through the path every day, and it's just like, damn it, I wish I had wood chips, and that's one thing that happens like greatly. You're walking the path every time. It's like, I need wood chips. I don't want to go to the store and buy wood chips, because that sucks. But yeah, there's been plenty of positives this year. A couple negatives, but never let the negatives outweigh your positives. Let your optimism continue, because there's always something that can be improved. But enjoy your successes, because that's just part of being a gardener and being a person. Just try not to overdo it like me. I go crazy. I get like a wild hair at my ass, and I just decide, hey, I want to do 14 more garden boxes. Let's go get the wood and build them right now. It just that's me. Try and temper that a little bit. You don't have to go crazy. That being said, you know, I obviously have. I'm actually extending the garden even more, but it's going to be with a perennial food forest because, like I've said in countless videos, my garden is mostly an annual garden, and I want to change that. I want to be able to go into my garden and get damn near everything I need, produce-wise, out of it. So that's exactly what I did. Like, I've got fruit trees, fruit trees, fruit trees. I've got berry bushes. I've got everything needed. And, you know, next couple years, that's going to be a pretty big part of my garden. Now, my garden is huge, like I said. I'm lucky enough to actually have that kind of space. I know not everyone does. But do what you can with the space that you have, and just take advantage of what you can. If you don't have a lot of space, try and look into verticality. You can grow a lot of plants vertically instead of taking up horizontal space. I might actually do a video on that later on. We'll see. But I think I've taken up enough time. I just wanted to go through a few things and just share a few successes, a few failures, a few things I wish I would have done differently, and go from there. But you know, always garden. Like I love gardening. It's one of those things that just calms me down. So you know, if you're like me, and you like just getting out and doing a little gardening, getting some produce done. Never give up. Always try something different because you never know. It might be something that works amazingly well for you. So, without any further ado, this is Jesse and Gravy. Happy gardening.